Hello, beautiful and amazing, stellar Army of Light, Earth Division, the boots on the ground. It's Shauna L. Francis, and today is February 13th, 2023. I missed you guys yesterday, but it was so nice to take a break. We're channeling Queen Elizabeth. She had a lot of she was spitfire today, just fired up. And it's interesting because somebody had asked me yesterday, how are you feeling about all this? And I'm like, I'm fired up. I'm feeling really empowered here. I'm feeling good about where we're going. The information's just been horrifying. And now I'm just like, I want to do something about this. I really am feeling so much resolve for the movement, for holding our torches extremely high and forging a path ahead with the truth here. So this was reflected very much in what Queen Elizabeth had to say today and how she came about it. Spent about 2 hours with her. It's a little over 1,800 words today. So quite a bit to go through, actually. I appreciate you guys, all your beautiful comments, everything that you're doing to support me and to support the Queen and to, bring love and light to these situations. Anger is going to be there. It has been there for me. Dismay, just, feeling like this is so unbelievable. But I think we're all collectively kind of turning a corner here. And, again, Queen Elizabeth, she kind of talks about this a little bit today. So I'm excited to kind of get into this and tell you what was said here. I said, hello, welcome back. Thank you for your patience, Elizabeth, as I took some time off yesterday. I'm very happy to be speaking with you again today. She said, thank you, Shauna. I reciprocate those feelings, and I too appreciated the quick break. Shall we get started? I said, certainly, whenever you're ready. Thank you, she said. We are capitalizing on a very unique situation in a unique environment. Shauna, everything coordinated, right down to the minute. Believe it or not, we are seizing various opportunities, seeding the collective with very specific information that's going to help topple this regime. I'm saying these words, and I'm like, yay, wow, okay. Very specific information that's going to help topple this regime. It's not just about the monarchy. She's talking about the whole regime. So again, we're one of many voices in a chorus here. All kinds of things that are being coordinated that, eventually this is going to happen. So I just said, I love it. I said, I'm so happy about this. Please continue, Elizabeth. And she said, thank you, Shauna. Yes, this is true. The immense amount of coordination happening between many levels of existence, many layers of dimensionality, the various players, the various energies. Shauna, epiphanies are happening right now. Dots are being connected. The pieces are coming together even as we speak. One massive coordinated effort to help fell an empire. I wasn't sure if that was like the proper use of the word fell, but I left it. To fell an empire. She said, this couldn't be more stunning and more important for all who have set out to battle this force. We are meant to restore balance, Shauna. We are meant to aid the disadvantaged, the victims, as well as the perpetrators. All of this in the name of evolution on a massive scale. She continued here. Shauna, you and I may have the bullhorns, but much of the heavy lifting is happening behind the scenes. Quietly, deliberately, conscientiously, and at the same time, efforts continue to be underway to help awaken as many of the masses as possible. And she said here, and as you know from firsthand experience and knowledge, this is not easy. It requires a questioning of one's deeply rooted and shared belief systems. What happens, she said, when one is faced with the undeniable drive to question everything about reality? Small cracks in the foundation, growing into wider gaps, then completely unsteady, unsettled, at its most simplest of terms, unsettled, she said. And just a sidebar here, even with my one-on-ones, you know, this is the one-on-one sessions and the people who are coming to me, this is really morphed and changed along with this ascension timeline and with the changing energies. And I'm seeing people who are normally quite, I guess, together and kind of accepting and seeming quite centered and grounded, are really having lots of upheaval right now in their lives. Lots of shadow work coming up. It's the deeper stuff that really has got to be seen so that we can do these very important jobs of holding the light. So a lot of frenetic energy. It's the deeper stuff coming up right now for our team. This is a good thing. This is a good thing. She said, having an immense amount of compassion for those who are entering this phase of their awakening, the unsettled part, the wobbly part, a time when they are feeling detached and floating away from a reality, the only reality that they've ever known, reaching for a lifeline, and many not able to find it. She said, it's a passage that happens and it can't be rushed. And it looks different for each and every soul who embarks on this journey. This is really true. All right, team. You know, the more we go down this path, there's going to be more and more people that we can be relating to on this level. So hang in there, team. Keep your heart front and center with whatever you're doing. Take deep breaths. Take it a moment at a time. Try not to take things so serious. Keep it light. Find the things that bring you joy and happiness, even if they seem trivial to others. You know, no apologies here. Put yourself first. Make time for you. Make time for your teams. Make time for meditation and getting quiet and calming and centering yourself in these really frenetic times. You know, take action for your well-being. Put yourselves first, guys. All this to say, Shauna, she continued, this is a comprehensive, multifaceted transformation happening on multiple levels. And successful passage requires patience, trust, a deep self-love, and recognition that one is in choice. Patience, trust, a deep self-love, and a recognition that one is in choice. She said here, today, Shauna, in this moment, from the relative safety and comfort of your home, we do what we can to elevate consciousness by illuminating the actions, activities, agendas, and programs carried out by very powerful beings against the human population in secret. The phrase, the truth shall set you free, is highly appropriate in this context, she said. And here she continues, and while who I was as Queen Elizabeth carries much shame and remorse for participating in such a ruthless regime, the ever-present, infinite soul, who I am in truth outside of that embodiment, is ready to take a sledgehammer to the delicate shell of secrecy that they hide behind. I'm like, you go, girl. I'm like, all right, we're doing this. She said, this is going to hurt them, Shauna. And it will hurt many who are ready to accept these messages. And for this, I'm sorry. For humanity is already a species under duress. Know that the time is right, and the time is now, to expose these deeper truths, to shine a light on the deepest, darkest secrets being kept from most of humanity in the name of freedom and in the name of love. And there's a big pause there. She said, Shauna, this new age that we've entered, hold on to your seats. We're going all the way with this. This will be damning and it will be telling, as it already has been. We give voices to the victims who are entangled in this web of debauchery and deceit. Yeah, I mean, even all the negative personal attacks that'll be coming my way. It's going to be because we are going to be striking a deep chord within people. These will not be things that will be easily dismissed, because it's going to have a ring of truth to what we're saying. And then we've got the negative reptilian regime who will be fighting what we're doing and what we're saying. But here, such resolve from her, and I'm feeling it too. We're going to be okay. We got this. I'm really feeling confident. She said, all of it carefully planned and coordinated. And then she switched gears here. We have spoken about the Mountbattens and how their ruthlessness has enslaved humanity for hundreds of years. We spoke of Winston Churchill, his bloodline, his descendants, who also continued their reign of terror. I'd like to talk briefly about the Windsors. Here we go. What's commonly referred to as the House of Windsor in more modern times, this general bloodline also goes back many, many centuries. And I felt my energy go a lot deeper here as she started to talk about this. It's almost like maybe the Star Team Alliance or the GFL or Cryon or Melchizedek they just fine-tune my field so it's just as clear as can be. I mean, my goal is always 100% accuracy. I pray that I'm as clear a channel as absolutely possible, especially with such sensitive information. We are naming names. It has to be right. So I felt my energy go deeper. She said, once again, bloodlines may change names, but the connections, the physical connections remain. And kind of in the background, I was guided to look at the royal bloodline hierarchy here, kind of, who's who, how far back does it go? So literally in the middle of this, I put her on pause, and I instantly found kind of the lineage from Queen Elizabeth all the way back. And from what I can tell, this Windsor family bloodline, who it probably goes on before this, but officially like in the mid 850s after Jesus, so 849 or something, you had like the original, he wasn't called a Windsor, but this original bloodline was, this is as far back as this website went, but you could trace down all the kings and queens all the way down with pictures all the way down to Queen Elizabeth. It was really fascinating. 1,200 years of the reigning kings and queens of the monarchy. I mean, unbelievable. I said, wow, just look at how far back this goes and how big it is. She said, yes, Shauna, it's a marvel to behold. So many people throughout the ages playing their roles in the monarchy with their genetic markers, their DNA, that help keep these humans in line and in sync with the negative reptilian regime. As she started saying this, all of a sudden the wind just kicked up at my house, and my house was blowing all over the place, and it got really dark outside and stormy. Thought, ooh, this is ominous. She said, Shauna, you can only imagine the brutality that was able to be carried out by the early monarchy members serving the negative reptilians nearly blindly. She said, it's a different world today. What was going on in the year 849 could not be carried out today in the same manner. As the world grew in population, technological advancements, organization and structure, the negative reptilians were always there, wielding their influence, helping shape how humanity would evolve. This has been a regime, she said, who has not only kept up with an evolving species, they've helped mold it and shape it. Again, this is so huge. It's way, way bigger than I had ever imagined. And she said here, and for the bloodline from which I came, there's no difference. Same goals, same agenda, different and expanded tactics. And remember too that she had said that she, you know, was kind of a modern ruler for modern times, like it was advantageous for her to be in the role that she was in. She said the Mountbatten and the Windsors may have originated with different people in different parts of the world, but make no mistake, these bloodlines are controlled by one central force. She said here, the Mountbattens had a very special role in history in that they were the ones to push the limits on what could be possible in terms of pushing the capabilities of what the hive mind could do through these bloodlines. And as I had previously mentioned, she said, the mindset has been maintained, but they haven't done a very good job of taking the steps to hold their actions in complete secrecy. This will help lead to their downfall. Pair that up with what she said in the beginning about this all being highly coordinated, and that while we have the bullhorns here, really the heavy lifting's being done behind the scenes. It's the evidence, guys. It's the proof. It's, you know, these kinds of things that are going to come to light that are really going to be heavy hitting. So this will help lead to their downfall, she said. The Windsors, this bloodline going back many generations, helped to solidify the negative reptilian influence on all matters of public affairs. The building of empires, the building of financial institutions, rules of governance, foundational structures of societal support systems, instilling this us versus them mentality, the haves and the have-nots, the few rich and powerful controlling the weak and hungry masses. She said here, keeping that separation between the reptilian hive mind humans and regular humans as wide as possible. Each king and queen in this dynasty played an important role in terms of carrying out the negative reptilians regime's agenda. All right, again, another big pause and a deep switch in my energy field. It kind of just felt like a ka-chunk, and I was in this new space, deeper. She said, the Windsors and the Mountbattens, these bloodlines have merged once again with the birth of Philip and my children, she said. And this is made evident with their titles. Charles III, my eldest son, a Mountbatten-Windsor, and while I love him dearly, again, all my children, my family, being what allowed me to hang on to life, to hang on to love throughout all these years, I must say that Charles and all of my 4 children are dutifully part of the negative reptilian regime. Charles, Anne, Andrew, and Edward. Okay, so I'm just like, well, I said to her, I guess, you know, this could have been expected, Elizabeth, given yours and Philip's bloodlines. You know, I think people who are familiar with this concept are not going to be surprised that your kids are negative reptilian regime, hive mind humans. I said I'm sure we're expecting this, as heartbreaking as it is. I think what's harder for me is what comes after this, you know, their children, their children's children. Oh my goodness. So she said here, I wish it weren't the case. I wish it weren't true. But those wishes are futile. It doesn't diminish the love that I have for all of my children. A mother's love, she said, like a rock, not easily worn down by storms and controversy. I said, yes, Elizabeth, I understand that love you're talking about. It's so powerful. I said, please continue when you're ready. She'd had a bit of a pause there. She said, as you can see from my family tree, all of our offspring from these 4 children, you get a sense for how large and widespread this combined bloodline has become. I said, I'm sorry, Elizabeth. It's just, I just don't want to believe it. There's such a fondness for all these beautiful kids in the family, these children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. I said, it's so hard. She said, yes, Shauna. She said, I know Charles, who is stepping into this role as king in an official capacity very soon, will continue and carry on much as I did throughout my reign. And I said, Elizabeth, what do you mean by that? May I ask? Thank you. And she said, this lad, my son, of whom I'm very proud, will step right in line with the negative reptilian regime hive mind control, feeling as though he has the ability to make sound choices and exercise his free will, but really he will not be. They'll keep him very busy with the customary engagements. He'll stay addicted to the ADR. It'll be like he's on a never-ending treadmill. I think people can relate to that idea. She said here, the excitement of being king will wear off very quickly, and like me, he will feel the burden of responsibility with very little power to do anything of real meaning. And she said here, and when he is in my situation, as I am now, having left that life behind, he will also join me in my crusade to be in service to light and love as we all approach the new earth. She said, we both yearn to be on the winning team. All right, so who knows what that's going to look like? Charles, through a pre-life agreement or a higher self agreement or something, is going to join his mom and switch teams and be advocating for the light once he leaves this existence here, this life. Okay. She said, Shauna, I realize that there will be many questions and I do plan to answer them in short order, but for now this feels complete. I said, okay, thank you, Elizabeth. I love you. I will talk to you tomorrow, I said. All right, team. So we're getting into kind of the more modern day monarchy here. I know we all have questions about Diana, about William and Harry, about their wives, about the bloodlines, who's who, what are we doing here? So much controversy with Harry and Meghan abdicating their royalty, you know, leaving that all behind. What's motivating that, you know? I will say, and I don't know anything and I don't want to make any assumptions. I've watched a couple of episodes of the Meghan and Harry, or Harry and Meghan Netflix series, and I feel like Harry is quite the light worker, Meghan too. And you may or may not agree with that, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinions. And I'm going to say again, I know nothing. Until it comes directly to me from Elizabeth, I'm not going to make any assumptions. But I am very interested in understanding what's going on there. And I'm very interested in knowing what happened really with Diana, without making any assumptions here. But I do feel she'll address all of this. All of this will be addressed. Okay. Well, team, I'm going to wrap it up for the night. Thank you so much for all your beautiful comments, all your love. You guys are amazing. You're the best. I hope you're all doing well. Have a good morning, day, evening, night, wherever you're at. I love you. I will see you tomorrow.